The last item you want to pay attention to when you configure a client is the mode. Is it going to be a personal type of connection, or is it going to be an enterprise type of connection? Why is that? Well, the reason is because if it's a personal type of connection, typically the connection is as simple as putting in a password, a pre-shared key. But if it's an enterprise type of connection, that's another business, because as you remember, we have PEEP, we have TLS. There are many possible IP types that your device is going to have to negotiate between your device and the authentication server. And the negotiation is about not only what authentication mechanism to use, but which one can your device do? Which one does the authentication server do? And it's a very difficult balance between creating all the possible options on your client device and at the same time making the client device simple to use for Mr. Everybody. So sometimes your device will be able to do some security and will not be able to do some others. And when it can do the others, it does not necessarily offer those as being the default, because the operating system vendor expects you to use primarily this and that mode instead of this and that other mode, and therefore those are hidden somewhere. So this is something you need to be aware of when you configure security, because it's going to impact the facility with which your customers or your clients are going to be able to configure those profiles. So here on my controller, I have two SSIDs. One is test1, and let me put it as .pav2, of course, .1x. And here, instead of using an external Radius server, I'm going to use the local IP profile I have. And specifically, I'm going to go to my profile and I'm going to edit it to only allow IPFast. Why not? Well, because it's a good protocol. And also, it's not something which is natively in many devices. All right. In between, I'm going to go to test2, and that one, I'm going to make it simpler. WPAV2 still, of course, but pre-shared key. And pre-shared key, let's say key Cisco 123, WPAV2. All right, perfect. Apply. Now, let's go on my Windows client and see what happens. Of course, I'm broadcasting, so I see them all. But if I go to test2, which is pre-shared key, boom, it's as simple as what is the password? And I enter the password and I'm connecting. So that one is very simple, and all operating systems are going to allow that kind of connectivity. That's very easy. But let's try test1 instead with my IPFast connectivity. And you see it's trying to connect. And, well, it doesn't make it. Why? Well, I may have IPFast support on that laptop, but the laptop is not designed to support IPFast by default. And until the configuration is more elaborate on the profile, and we'll do that next lesson, my laptop is going to assume a certain type of IP which does not contain IPFast. And because it does not contain IPFast, it's going to fail. To make it work, I will have to get into the profile and change it manually to tell it you have to use that mode, not your default mode. So the security tab you use, if it's an IP versus pre-shared key, is going to change the amount of work that you will have to do maybe to configure your client. So that is something you have to keep in mind when you design your security. It's going to be a ratio between security, and if you use enterprise security, the amount of security you want to set, to the amount of work you need to set to work your clients so that they have the right profile and the right configuration. Okay, so let's go through the operating systems and see how they are configured.